Chapter 5. Sea. On our second day at sea, Dad joins me and Grandma on the open-air terrace at the bow of the ship. He leans against the guardrail, watching the waves below. "Dad," I say quietly, "how did it happen? How did those people end up at our house?" "It was only one person to begin with," says Dad, after a pause, "until the payments weren't enough." "Why didn't you tell the police?" I ask. "They're dangerous people. I was frightened they'd hurt you or Grandma." Grandma rests a hand on his shoulder. I remember the headlights coming up the driveway, my bedroom and everything we left behind. "I really am sorry, darling," Dad says, turning to face me. "What can I do to make the move better?" My chest tightens. He made us flee in the middle of the night, leave behind Mum's belongings, move across the ocean, and he thinks he can make it better. "You don't get it." I lift my head and gaze out at the ocean. Sunlight dances on the rippling surface. "Then tell me," he replies. "There's nothing you can do," I say, my voice rising. A few bystanders shuffle away. "I don't have any friends in India. I don't even have any memories of Mum there." Dad breathes in sharply and clasps his hands together. "I know, but I met your Mum in India. She's every bit there as she is here. In a way, you're following in her footsteps." I shrug, but something inside me softens slightly. "She'll always be with you wherever you go," adds Grandma. "Remember that." I nod, but just in case, later that day, I decide to write her a note. I know it's a weird thing to do, but it makes me feel better. I dot the I's with stars like she used to. "Mum, we're moving to India. You've been there before, so you know where it is. I don't know the exact location yet, except that it's on top of a mountain. See you there. Love, Ruby." I rip it up and scatter it into the waves below, imagining them floating down to her. The pieces flutter down to the water, resting on the surface before sinking. Some are whipped up by the wind and disappear into the sky. That evening, Grandma and I return to our room to discover Joey's learnt how to jump out of the pillowcase pouch and hop about the room. She's as tall as my knees and her feet are as long as her legs. She leaps up to me and sniffs my hands before losing her balance and toppling over. She's been chewing on Grandma's shoe, which is soaked and tattered. Dad knocks on the door. I spin my head round to look at Grandma, eyes wide. "Get her in the bathroom," Grandma says, passing me a bottle. She opens the door to Dad as I close the one to the bathroom. Muffled voices filter through. Joey squeaks at the sight of the bottle. "What was that?" I hear Dad ask from the cabin. "Ruby's in the bathroom," says Grandma. Joey sucks on the bottle noisily before leaping out of the pillowcase and into my arms, knocking me into the towel rail. "What's going on in there?" asked Dad, tapping on the bathroom door. "Are you alright, Ruby?" "I'm fine." I flush the toilet to cover the noise. "Just feeling a bit seasick," I shout through the door. "Can I get anything to make you feel better?" "No, thanks." I gather Joy's pillowcase pouch in my arms to keep her still. She rests her nose on my shoulder, tired from her playful burst. Grandma opens the door a few minutes later. "That," she says, "was far too close." I nod and wish Mum was there. She would have loved Joey. Imagining Mum with Joey makes my chest feel tight. For a long time it was too hard to think about her at all. I picture her as clearly as if she was next to me, her smile and chipped front tooth, the lemon eucalyptus scent she wore as mosquito repellent, but it would just remind me of everything I'd lost, so I stopped picturing her at all. Now I can almost see her again, stroking Joey's soft little nose, and my heart aches. I think of my letter bobbing around on the waves. I wonder whether in some way it will reach her.